everybody, it's Benny One, and I'm back at you with another Mission Impossible movie review, and we're moving on to Mission Impossible 3, everybody. This movie is directed by J.J. Abrams. That's right, this is an early film that really showed off what J.J. Abrams is capable of. That's right, because he was doing Lost, and then he did this movie, and then he went on to do the two Star Trek movies, and then he did two of the Star Wars movies that came out. He's directed some movies in some of my favorite movie franchises. So we have Mission Impossible 3. We see Tom Cruise return once again as Ethan Hunt because this is his baby, everybody. This is his baby. And this one I think was the first one that it actually said a Tom Cruise film. And this actually started the wave of current Mission Impossible movies that we are enjoying and loving today. Like, they're working on the 7th one right now. Like, Tom Cruise and J.J. Abrams, like, J.J. didn't direct the next 3 movies, but he was a producer along with Tom Cruise, so he's very involved with the franchise still. So, but yeah, this J.J. Abrams brings in that fast-paced, action-packed, jumping from action scene to action scene. Like, he brings that style of movie that we know he is capable of doing now. That just fast-paced, like, the movies are never boring. He brings that to this third Mission Impossible movie and just totally rejuvenates and gives this franchise some new life, some new blood, everything. And the franchise hasn't really stopped since this movie came out. Like, it's been rolling and rolling high ever since this movie came out. Like, because in my opinion, the movies just keep getting better and better and better, especially after the second one, which, like I said in my review, I respected what they were doing with John Woo, but they just couldn't quite figure out the whole action mixed in with that spy thriller that the first movie was, where this one actually takes that spy thriller aspect and mixes in the action and mixes it well and creates this baby that is just entertaining as hell, everybody. And this movie also introduces some new characters. We have Lawrence Fishburne coming. He's the IMF head lead guy. He's a dick, but that's what that position's supposed to be. He does a great job in the movie. And this movie, I will say, after rewatching it, I wasn't 100% sure about it, but now I most definitely am. Frickin' Philip Seymour Hoffman. Rest in peace, you beautiful man. You literally played the best villain that has ever been in a Mission Impossible movie in this third movie. Seriously. The dude is scary. He has this presence about him. That opening scene of this movie where he's got Ethan tied up and there's a lady across from him and he's going to shoot her in the head. Obviously, you know that Ethan cares about her, which we do dive into the backstory of that. But yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman knocks this role out of the park, you guys. Knocks it out of the ballpark. Jesus. Awesome role for Philip Seymour Hoffman. Awesome villain for this franchise. The best that has ever been so far. So, but yeah, this movie's awesome because we get to dive into Ethan's personal life with his fiance and all this stuff. He's not really doing anything for the IMF anymore. And then he gets wrapped back into it because we find out he was training people for the IMF. And there was this one chick that he trained that you don't know if he really had a relationship with or not. They kind of hint at it and they leave it up in the air for you to kind of figure out for yourself. He has to go rescue her, and that's where we kind of get introduced to our story and how he gets wrapped back up into the IMF and becoming a spy again. And then his fiance, who becomes his wife, gets wrapped up in this with Philip Seymour Hoffman because there's this really tense scene on an airplane where Ethan's trying to figure out what the rabbit's foot, where it is, what it is, because that's what this movie's all about, is the rabbit's foot, which Philip Seymour Hoffman's character is trying to, basically destroy the world with, because that's what these movies are all about. Very intense scene. And when he learns Ethan's name, he tells him on that plane, he was like, you made a big mistake, because he's like, do you have a wife? Like, because she's gonna watch you die, and like he tells him all this crazy shit, and it really happens. Like, that's why the villain in this movie is great, you guys. Great. The movie is just awesome with action. Just the action is so great in this movie. And the one thing I've noticed, because I watched the fourth one, I finished it yesterday. The scene where, you know, Ethan comes down on the like a wire or whatever, and he goes, "Whew," and he's like barely touching the ground. That scene is in every single Mission Impossible movie. They always put that in every single movie. And another thing I liked is we finally got to see in this movie the thing that makes the masks. They finally showed the device that makes the masks, everybody. When they're making the mask for him to look like Philip Seymour Hoffman. I love that we finally got to see the damn thing, because in the other two movies we didn't get to see it, but they showed it. And I love that they're showing more stuff of this whole spy world that we love from the Mission Impossible movies. So, I mean, if I had to say something negative about the movie is there is a lot of plots in the movie. There's a lot of stuff going on, because you have the stuff about Ethan's personal life, him having a fiance, him getting married, and then you have the stuff come up about him training IMF agents that they don't really spend a whole lot of time on, and then this chick that he is trying to rescue that he fails, unfortunately. They might have a relationship, and then you got the stuff with Philip Seymour Hoffman's villain. It's just there's a lot of plots going on, so the story is kind of, and the pacing is a little rough at parts, but it's a very enjoyable Mission Impossible movie. Like, seriously, very enjoyable. Like I said, this movie started the current like awesome wave of Mission Impossible movies that we're enjoying today. So I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10, everybody, for Mission Impossible 3. So thank you for watching my review, everybody. I appreciate it, and I'll be catching you on the tube laters, because I have spoken.